This is the College of Forestry and Natural Resources today. Who would know that once upon a time, the campus did not look like this? There were not yet many buildings nor even trees like there are today, nor were there as many people, both faculty and students, like what we have now. The campus then was an almost barren grassland. What was left, records say, of an abandoned kaingin. This is the story of what the college went through the past 100 years, what it is today, and what it hopes to be in the next century. April 19, 1910. A forest school was established at the University of the Philippines under the College of Agriculture through Republic Act 1989, sponsored by Honorable Jaime C. de Vera. This served as the foundation of the forestry degree in UP. The school's first ex-officio head was Major George P. Ahern, director of the then Bureau of Forestry. The Forest Ranger course was offered to 24 ambitious young men, most of which were pensionados selected from all over the country. 2 years after, 17 students completed the Forest Ranger course, including one foreigner. The school had its first BS Forestry degree graduates in 1915, Antonio Racelis and Aniceto Villamil. A year later, on February 4, the Forest School became a separate entity of the College of Agriculture. This era marked the formal offering of the Bachelor of Science in Forestry. 11 students were its first enrollees in 1924. In the same year, the Forest School was renamed School of Forestry through Republic Act 3095. Its 20 years of existence had turned out 435 graduates, many of whom held key positions in both government and private companies. The school was elevated into a full-fledged college in 1930. Countries like Hong Kong, Madras, Guam, China, and India sent students to the Philippines to take forestry courses. With the elevation of the school into college, the 2-year Ranger Certificate course was substituted with a 4-year Bachelor of Science in Forestry course in 1936. Some important first events also happened onwards the school's 30th year. The school participated in a meeting with FAO. Dr. Florencio Tamesis was appointed as the first Filipino forestry director in 1937, and in the same year, the Forestry Day and Moving Up Day were initiated by Class 1937. During this decade, the school produced its very first cum laude in 1940, Mr. Crisostomo E. Tiongson. What the School of Forestry has gained in its earlier years literally went to ashes when the campus was bombed by the Japanese on Christmas Day in 1941. Yet history has its silver lining. The school was renamed College of Forestry through Republic Act No. 352, sponsored by former Senator Jeronima T. Pecson. At the end of this era, BSF Class 1950 erected a cenotaph in honor and memory of the foresters who gave their lives in the active performance of their sworn duties. golden decade of the college ushered in many changes. New facilities were established, such as the Forest Products Laboratory and the Central Forest Experiment Station. In 1957, a reorganization plan was implemented that separated the college from the Bureau of Forestry, transferring it under the full responsibility of the university. Dr. Calixto Mabesa was appointed as its first dean. The same year also marked another milestone in the newly independent college, with the first female graduate, Generosa Cañeda, receiving the Bachelor of Science in Forestry degree. Meanwhile, the further advancement of the college has also brought in greater opportunities for growth and development of its staff. Young and promising faculty members were sent to universities in the USA to pursue graduate studies in forestry. The college welcomed the 1960s with a partnership forged with the State University of New York. This resulted in the expansion of the college's academic facilities and institution of faculty development programs. Consequently, 4 departments were established, namely Forest Biological Sciences, Forest Resources Management, Wood Science and Technology, and Forestry Extension. The expansion of the college also took forest and forestry to the awareness of a greater number of people. In May 1965, the maiden issue of the Conservation Circular, a monthly publication of the Department of Forestry Extension, came out. A regional forestry extension office in Baguio was opened in September 1966 to accelerate the forestry and extension drive in northern Luzon. Its creation was in support of a national law to promote a nationwide program on public information and education in forestry. In May 1968, the college started to penetrate the airwaves when the initial broadcast of the radio program Kadluan ng Yaman was aired over Radio DZLB. The 1960s indeed exhibited a great leap in the development of the college with the offering of the master's degree program in forestry. After strengthening its human resources and improving its academic facilities, the college focused on higher education and offered the Doctor of Philosophy program in 1973. After a year, the Bachelor of Science in Forest Products Engineering was offered, which later became a 5-year curricular program in 1989. Ramon A. Razal, who later became Dean of the CFNR, was the first cum laude graduate of this program in 1977. In the same year, the college produced its first magna cum laude, Delvin J. Ganapin Jr., with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Forestry. Forester Ganapin became the first forester to become Director of the Environmental Management Bureau and later became Undersecretary of the DENR. Following another reorganization and influenced by the shifts in development thinking, the decade 1980s brought in people-oriented approaches in the conduct of forestry. In 1980, the Department of Social Forestry was established to promote social equity, participation and sustainability in forestry, and natural resources. It was also during this year that the Department of Silviculture and Forest Influences was created. By virtue of Presidential Decree 1559, the Forestry Development Center was instituted with the mandate to conduct basic policy researches. In 1985, the Institute of Forest Conservation, or IFC, was created through a merger of the Forestry Extension Center and the Center for Forestry Education Development for Asia and the Southwest Pacific region. IFC coordinated the extension and research functions of the college and became its leading training arm. Another distinctive event during the decade was the recognition given to our beloved colleagues, namely Dr. Juan Adolfo Revilla, Dr. Dioscoro Rabor, and Mr. Jose D. Olivar as Earth awardees. Towards the latter part of the 20th century, the college continued to evolve to take on the emerging challenges of wider social and environmental concerns. The UPLB Agroforestry program was created that led to a revised Bachelor of Science in Forestry curriculum and the offering of a postgraduate diploma in agroforestry in cooperation with the College of Agriculture. The Forest Ranger Certificate was also renamed into the Certificate of Forestry. In 1996, the Institute of Forest Conservation became the first accredited provider of the continuing professional education courses for forestry professionals in the Philippines by the Professional Regulation Commission. Before the decade ended, the College of Forestry was reorganized into the College of Forestry and Natural Resources. Part of this reorganization was the creation of the Makiling Center for Mountain Ecosystems and the Training Center for Tropical Resources and Ecosystems Sustainability from the then Institute of Forest Conservation. The Institute of Renewable Natural Resources was also created through a merger of the Departments of Forest Resources Management and the Silviculture and Forest Influences. 3 units of the college were given new names, such as the Social Forestry, to Social Forestry and Forest Governance, Wood Science and Technology, to Forest Products and Paper Science, and UPLB Agroforestry Program to Institute of Agroforestry. These changes continue to respond to the challenges that the college faced, with the forest being viewed in a wider context of environmental stability and its management for the greater benefit of the people. In the coming of the new millennium and towards its 100th year, CFNR continues to receive recognition as the premier institution in forestry. On January 11, 2000, the Commission on Higher Education, through Memorandum Order No. 6, Series of 2000, declared the college as the Center of Excellence in Forestry Education for 3 years, and for the next 2 succeeding calls until 2009. Further, in response to the need for experts in natural resource conservation, the Master of Science in Natural Resources Conservation was instituted in 2005. Aside from institutional recognitions, CFNR's alumni also brought honor to the college with Drs. Rex Victor Cruz, Rodel Lasco, and Juan Pulhin receiving Nobel Peace Prize awards in 2008, together with former U.S. Vice President Al Gore, as authors of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Fourth Assessment Report. Likewise, 4 faculty members were named UP scientists: Dr. Edwino Fernando, Juan Pulhin, Menandro Abda, and Rex Victor Cruz. The college has also fortified its network and networking capabilities with the establishment of the Philippine Agroforestry Education and Research Network, Philippine Forestry Education Network, and Forests and Natural Resources Research Society of the Philippines Incorporated. It has maintained strong linkages as well with various universities and organizations abroad. passing of years witnessed the growth and development of CFNR. Its continuing existence is a manifestation of the institutional trust and confidence in the college and what it is trying to accomplish. CFNR looks forward to more challenges ahead. Beyond anything else is the will to continue and train competent people who can make great strides for our forests, the natural environment, and for the people to whom all its efforts are directed. The next 100 years of the College of Forestry and Natural Resources will be written through the works of these new breed of foresters. And after being equipped with all the knowledge and skills in forestry, a great challenge lies on their shoulders to live up to the achievement of their predecessors and paint a brighter and more meaningful picture of CFNR.